if in this lifetime it's so hard on you that you just want to leave, that you want for this life to end because you cannot take it anymore, know that this moment, this pain is actually a gift and rebirth. This world is about to die, and it needs to, but there will be a rebirth because nothing and no one ever dies. We are aliens, we are starseeds, we are God, we are the devil, okay? The truth about aliens. Do not believe anything the government tries to tell you about aliens. Who are our spirit guides? What are they? Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel Wheel of Fortune Psychic Tarot. My name is Nia, and today's video is a follow-up on the spiritual Q&A I posted a little while ago on this same channel, where my viewers asked me questions about the dying process, the afterlife, the different dimensions of the spirit realm, the different kinds of spirits, God, hell, heaven, angels, demons, all of that good stuff. So if you haven't already, then please watch this video. I will link it up here somewhere and definitely in the description box. It's very eye-opening. It's very triggering to some. That being said, if anything in today's video makes you feel bad or if you disagree, that is fine, but make sure you stay respectful in the comment section down below. And actually, I've been thinking about calling this educational video series The Triggering Truths. Let me know if you like that idea. So yeah. Now, in today's video, I would like to dig a little bit deeper into some things that were mentioned in this first spiritual Q&A. I feel like I need to explain things a little bit more thoroughly because I have realized that the answers to those questions provide a lot of comfort to the broken-hearted. And know that if you are new here, I am someone who has gone through a lot of suffering throughout all of my life. Everything that I preach on this channel is what I have been practicing myself to literally stay alive. Just to give you a little bit of perspective, I have been in therapy for over 13 years, and my psychologist, who has more than 40 years of experience in his field, said to me that I am one of the worst cases he has ever had to deal with. I'm not saying that to brag or to gain sympathy. I just want you to know that whatever I say to you comes from a place of care and of sympathy and compassion. I never want to come across as someone who trivializes other people's pain or who is distant or condescending. None of that. And you should know this if you have been here with me for a while. And for those of you who are new here, briefly, if you are wondering, why do I know all of these things? Well, the first answer to that question is I have been suffering a lot, as I just mentioned, and I don't see myself as a victim, even though I would have every right to feel so. I see myself as a survival expert. And if you go through very difficult hardships and darkness and terror, it's a chance to acquire knowledge that will help you become a lot more awake to the reality and the purpose of our existence on this earth. And I don't want to get too spiritual just yet, just know that that's one of the reasons. And then I started to have paranormal experiences very early on in my childhood. So did my father. My mother is a professional astrologer. She also specialized in ancestral lineage healing, and I have always been part of that. So my upbringing was very open-minded in that sense, not very conventional. And then I have always been so interested and curious about the supernatural. I have consumed everything and anything about ghosts and demons and angels and kind of fantasy creatures, about the afterlife. And most importantly, I have thoroughly studied tons of near-death experiences. Those are so important. I highly recommend that you do the same. Those people who kind of travel and transition to the other side and come back have incredible accounts to share with us that truly enlighten everyone who is open-minded. All right, so let's get into it though. I have some notes down here on my desk. If I keep on looking that way, that's why. And also, guys, do you like my background? I love it so much. I got these purple hearts, and if you enjoy my content, it's so important that you give this video a thumbs up and that you comment, that you engage. If you don't know what to say, drop a purple heart. I even put on my lovely purple heart ring today. And also, I prefer everything natural. I have natural lighting, so keep that in mind if you are not happy that I'm not, I don't know, enlightened enough. That was a little joke, guys. Now, I want to summarize today's video under the title of why do we go through so much pain in this life? And there is an answer to it, but it's difficult to grasp and, again, triggering for some. That is the very first triggering truth you're going to hear right now. Our suffering is a chosen fate, and it's the result of past life karma. Karma means action. If you don't know about karma, please watch my first spiritual Q&A. So most of you guys will know that we live more than once. A lot more often than once. We live infinite lifetimes. And those people who had supernatural experiences, such as near-death experiences, often met with their spirit team on the other side and realized that the experiences we go through in this physical incarnation on planet Earth is based on karmic contracts and agreements the soul makes before choosing a lifetime. Please, guys, I can't say this enough. Watch the story on my channel about the little soul and the sun. Watch all of it. It's explained very easily and with so much love, and it will really help you understand why we suffer so much and why some people hurt us a lot. All right. Now, that being said, if you go through hardships in your life, do not judge those with your conscious ego brain. Again, that is something I explained in my first Q&A, the difference between the brain of the body and the brain of the soul. Those are not the same. When we get born into physical existence, we have complete amnesia. We forget everything that we had experienced before being born, and that is the trouble. If only we remembered, everything would become so much clearer. You have to actively train to be more in tune with your soul's brain, which is the higher self, and do not mistake it for your physical brain, which sorts out your day-to-day life, which decides what to wear, which sets alarms so that you wake up on time, which solves analytical problems and all of that. That is not your soul's brain. And you really need to shift your perspective and not get so involved with your ego. My ego, my persona in this one physical existence is Nia. Look at me. I have this color skin, this hair, my facial features, my voice, my talents, and everything that you see, guys. That is a persona. That is like an actor that is played by the soul. The soul is, of course, at the core of it, but what you can see on the outside is not real. Yes, it is real. You can see it, smell it, touch it, and all of that, but it's just one tiny outward representation of what you truly are. So please do not judge from this Nia persona her entire life. And this is so hard to explain, and I really hope that you can follow me. I'm really struggling to bring across this wisdom, but do not judge with your brain your struggles. That will only cause more bad karma, because you will have reactions, negative emotions. Those emotions manifest into more trouble, and that's how you make things more and more complicated, guys. I really recommend that if you want to escape the cycle of karmic suffering, that you let go, let loose, that you distance yourselves from the pain. Don't get so involved with it. Do not associate with it that much. Do not, identify with it. That's the word I was looking for. Do not identify with it. I'm taking notes here. I even have a purple pen. I'm really loving my purple theme. Purple is a highly psychic color. I highly recommend you get more purple into your lives if you want to become more spiritual. But yeah, do not identify so much with this persona. That will cause a lot more suffering. Realize that the truth of the matter is that you are a soul that exists infinitely and that chooses many different lives on planet Earth, as many different personas to experience everything that there is. Again, this is very complicated and I hope you can follow me. But why are we even born? Why do we even incarnate? Because we want to experience the entire range of what it means to be alive. So that involves the good and the bad, okay? And you cannot ever be whole if you don't know what the good and the bad feels like. How can you, for example, offer pencils for drawing if you only pick the beautiful colors, like the bright pink, the bright blue, and the yellow? You can't leave out the black and the brown and the gray. Do you understand what I mean? And very often, in order to experience something good, you need to live the bad in order to properly understand the opposite. I'm going to give you an example, and this is the example taken out of the story, The Little Soul and the Sun. If you want to, as a soul, experience yourself as someone who has forgiveness in their heart, who knows how to forgive, which is an amazing, amazing quality, what do you need? You need someone who does something unfair and painful to you. And only if you truly experience this pain and this injustice, you can then 100% decide to forgive. And you can fully feel what forgiveness is, only if there is something extremely painful and unfair. Do you understand? And now, go inwards and think about your own life and what happened to you that is considered unjust or maybe ugly or maybe awful. Trust and believe that everything awful that happened to you is there for you to experience the positive opposite. And of course, that is difficult, but there are so many analogies in this physical life that show us how this is actually true and real. if you want to become a pro athlete, if you want to win Olympic gold, you don't just get born all muscular and with a lot of endurance and strength and stamina. No, you have to train for it. You have to show blood, sweat, and tears in order to win that gold medal. And it's the same thing when it comes to spirituality. If you want to come closer to enlightenment, you have to go through pain. You have to work your spiritual muscles, so to say, okay? No pain, no gain. This is triggering, but it's true, guys. It's true. And so many people who have gone to the other side and come back, met with their spirit guides, and were told that the hardships were a chosen fate. And don't stress yourselves out, like give yourselves time to really get to the bottom and to, the truth of your own personal pain. It will take time, but I promise you that if you open up to this amazing opportunity to solve your pain by understanding that you chose it and why you chose it, if you open up to that, your life will become much easier. And guys, please stop reacting, stop being triggered. I know that's easier said than done, but if something awful happens to you, I'm gonna describe something extremely horrific here. Someone kills your child. That is awful, that is disgusting, that is horrific, that is the worst thing one of the worst things that could ever happen to anyone. Do not react in the sense that you say, I hate God, God is not real, you understand what I mean? You have every right to do that. By doing that, you cause a lot more pain for yourselves. And I'm not going to hold back, guys. Like, I can hear already the voices of the triggered people here saying, this is not true, and BS, and this girl doesn't know what she's talking about. But this so to say, is a karmic partner. Karmic partners, and I have to take notes to keep track of what I'm saying. Karmic partners are not just your romantic, lovey-dovey soulmates. New Age culture has developed so many false and toxic spiritual terms, like the term twin flame. There is no such thing as a twin flame. You are your own individual being. You do not depend on any other soul. You are whole, and it's your job to experience yourself as a whole, enlightened, empowered being, okay? You do not depend on anyone else for your own happiness. Another triggering truth. And especially those people who hurt you, like that in my story, are karmic partners. You don't know what they need to learn on their spiritual journey. But before everyone was born into existence in your life, you all agreed for certain things to happen. This mother agreed with that soul to have her child taken by that person's hands, because that mother maybe needs to learn forgiveness in a very, very extreme way. And that needs to learn remorse. And often, people have started to learn these lessons many, many incarnations prior. And then the lessons weren't as harsh, but they didn't want to go through them because it's uncomfortable. And they procrastinated. And all of that procrastination leads up to extreme fate, okay? To something extreme, like it probably wasn't that serious many incarnations ago. But only when you're seriously confronted with how horrific something is, you want to change it. Like so many people who are obese, they say, I never thought it was that bad. I didn't take the red flag seriously until I saw that picture of myself and I was shocked that I am this person. And then I decided to turn my life around and lose weight, You can apply that same example to extreme karmic journeys and blows of fate, all right? And that brings me to another topic that was kind of mentioned by someone. I think they said, if a doctor makes a mistake and that mistake leads to a patient passing away. Of course, if you look at the doctor as the ego personality with a specific name and gender and history and height and weight and skin color, yes, that was an accident. But if you look at the core, at the soul, was it a mistake? No, guys. Mistakes and coincidences do not exist. That doctor, if we take that example, probably agreed as a karmic partner of everyone involved and that patient before they were born into existence that they would make this mistake, which would have such a terrible effect on everyone involved, because everyone involved wants to learn something. And again, if it's so intense and so difficult, it is because it had been procrastinated throughout many past lifetimes. And, you know, if you in this life, and I'm including myself, guys, again, what I'm preaching is what I'm practicing myself. If in this lifetime, it's so hard on you that you just want to leave, that you want for this life to end because you cannot take it anymore, know that this moment, this pain is actually a gift, because right now you can take charge. You can be responsible and you can end this if you learn the lesson. And I really hope that if you're still watching, that what I have been trying to explain to you guys here is eye-opening and helps you. All right. So there are no accidents, there are no coincidences, no bad ones and no positive ones. To give you a bit of a more uplifting example, I have quite a few viewers who find my channels in the strangest ever ways. And again, that's not a coincidence. You were guided to my channel. If you're here, if you're learning from me, you were guided here by your higher self, by your spirit team. And that is not to say that I'm some amazing being that attracts other people to help them. I don't want to make myself look bigger than anyone. No, I also learn from other people, okay? I'm not better than you. I just have this one talent, which I have acquired through so much pain. You have a different talent that I don't have, all right? So, yeah. And now if you have kind of understood what karmic partners are, what karmic contracts are, why our karmic journey gets so difficult, then you might realize that you might have to change your idea about God and the devil and heaven and hell. Everyone who transitioned over to the other side realized that there is no negative, judgmental being who punishes the bad and who rewards the good. That is simply not true. Again, we judge ourselves with the help of our spirit team. When we pass away, we go through our life review. We experience everything that we did to other people through their eyes. And based on that, we decide if we can forgive ourselves or if we have to make it up to those people. All right. So that whole biblical idea of heaven and hell and this like old white man sitting in the clouds judging us is not true. And I want to say I have a lot of respect for all religions. There is so much truth to religious teachings, but please do not take these scriptures literally. Do not take anything literally, not even me. And what I say here, I know that sounds kind of contradicting, but think for yourselves. Use your heart. Do some heart chakra and throat chakra opening meditations. And when you hear someone explain something to you, you will feel in your heart if they speak the truth, if it makes sense. Use your own judgment. Be your own judge, because there is no one else judging you but you, okay? And there is no devil, of course. The devil doesn't exist. The devil is just like God, is us, can be us. We are all parts of the whole divine energy, okay? And if you have properly understood what I've been trying to explain, you know that the divine is the good and the bad. And people, in order to understand things, give everything a name and a face. That's how we created God or Buddha or any other kind of, gods or goddesses from different religions and, demons. We create a name and a face and a persona, just like we are a persona in this lifetime, played by our soul. We do the same to those supernatural beings, okay? Do not do that. The more that you identify with a persona and the more that you give your energy to something kind of rigid and limited, which also represents a persona, the more power you lose, the more spiritual power you lose. And also, guys, heaven and hell do not exist the way we have been conditioned to think about it. Hell is a place on earth. What does hell mean? There is now like a red-faced guy, half goat with like horns and his little pitchfork, laughing in the flames, and like everything smells like rotten eggs. The devil has the face of many politicians and authorities. The devil has the face of many people who do you harm. But again, you don't know what this devil chose to experience in this lifetime. They might have been an angel in previous lifetimes, or they might become one. Never judge anyone. Never judge anyone, okay? You don't know the truth, but hell's a place that we have created, and it has really peaked in these times. If you have, been witnessing what's been happening over the last 3-4 years on this earth, you know that this is absolute hell. And also human karma and earth, we go through cycles of death and rebirth. This world is about to die, and it needs to, but there will be a rebirth, because nothing and no one ever dies. And heaven, that image of like little chubby cherubs like dancing in the clouds and playing instruments and everyone just being blissed out, that is also not real. What heaven actually is in spirituality is nothingness, is where we come from, is where we were born as souls, is nothingness. There is just love and light where you can't experience anything. And we incarnated as souls because we were kind of bored of nothingness. We wanted to experience what it's like to be alive. But there is this paradise dimension, which I mentioned in my first Q&A, which is the first realm we enter after losing our physical bodies, where everything looks like, just an amazingly beautiful world, and you meet your loved ones there and they look like the best version of themselves. That is probably what comes the closest to this idea of heaven that we are conditioned to have. Oh. And now on to, I don't know if I will mention it in the title, but on to Starseeds and aliens. Guys, if you're still here, I love you. Let me know if you're still here, if you're still watching. Kudos to you. That means you're a wise old soul. You're very open-minded spiritually. The truth about aliens. Do not believe anything the government tries to tell you about aliens. I can't say my real truth because my channel will disappear if I do. But just, again, think for yourselves. The universe is infinite. And even our rational, non-spiritual scientists have found out that there are probably within the close proximity over 300 different planets that have conditions where life can exist. And that is real, The universe has many different platforms for spiritual experiences. Earth is just one. And planet Earth, you guys, and again, many people who had near-death experiences and similar things happen to them say that planet Earth is the most difficult to come to as a soul. Everything is so heavy here, guys. We experience gravity on this planet. Other planets do not have gravity. And now think about that. What does that mean? Everything is so heavy. There is cause and effect, and we have to constantly fight to survive. This body needs to be maintained. It needs to eat. It needs to drink. It gets sick. And everything applies to nature as well. There is so much brutality here on this planet. And that's the negative aspect. But the positive aspect is that you can experience all the wonders of planet Earth, the beautiful plants and, you know, the beautiful animals and everything we create as humans, like music and art and the visuals. You know, there is good and bad here. This polarity that we have created between heaven and hell, which exists here in real life, is amazing and awful at the same time. And many other beings, and I do not want to call them aliens, they are souls just like us, but they are on a different journey in their whole spiritual development. They come here to experience and witness the wonders of planet Earth. All right. And I can promise you that if you want to escape the cycle of reincarnation, you do not have to spend eternity here on planet Earth. I can promise you that if you are done here, you will move to a different planet and experience whatever you need to experience there. And I'm going to give you an example because I, through meditation and everything else that I'm doing, had some memories come back to me to where I was before I came here to planet Earth. I, by the way, did many past life regressions, but they were all based on planet Earth. And guys, I found the person online that I was in my past life. This is something for a different video. Highly recommend past life regression therapy, all right? But before that, I know, and I can really feel this, I lived on a planet. There were planets where everything was controlled by the mind, where there was no physical limiting body that got in the way. I am a quick thinker. I can multitask. I'm very impatient, and you know, I'm very, very rational, actually very intellectual, and that's because I'm still in that energy so much where you don't need to say any words. Everything works through telepathy, you know. That's just one example. That's where I come from, and now I decided to come here and experience the hardships on the gravity planet. And guys, I don't know where you come from, but we are all star seeds. A star seed, like, please don't believe all the new age stuff. Star seeds, we're all star seeds. We never spend all of our lives on one planet. We decide to start somewhere else when we're done here, and we have been somewhere else before we came here. Okay, so really rethink and kind of change your perspective on aliens and starseeds. We are aliens, we are starseeds, we are God, we are the devil, okay? I hope you can follow me and that you are still here. And what else did I want to say? Oh yeah, of course, spirit guides. I don't know when this video right here will come out, but I think by then I will have already posted my spirit guide pick a card on my second channel, and by the end of the month of September 2023, I don't know when you will find this video, I will be doing a live channeling event where I introduce my audience to their spirit guide. So what I'm about to say here is very important for those of you who will take part in that group channeling. Who are our spirit guides? What are they? We all have many, guys. We all have many, all right? But we have this one main guide who helps us choose a lifetime and choose a fate, and who helps us make our karmic contracts. And they're with us through the entirety of our existence as one persona. and they transition with us to the afterlife, and they probably help us then through our life review and choose yet another life. And they make sure that we don't fall, in the sense that we don't do anything outside of our karmic contracts. They give us signs, and I would like to call those our guardian angels. And I think that this idea of a guardian angel is what our main spirit guide represents. They protect us, they guide us, they lead us, and they love us, you guys. Trust and believe that no one judges you. As I said, no one judges you. And there is this song Angels by Robbie Williams, which was a sign from my main spirit guide, one out of many. And this song brought me to tears, and I'm getting emotional just talking about it, and I feel my throat chakra vibrating. Robbie Williams sings, when I'm lying in my bed, thoughts running through my head, and I feel that love is dead, I'm loving angels instead. You are never alone. This guide is always with you, and they love you through the good, the bad, and the ugly. They never judge you. If you fail, they don't think any less of you. If you succeed, they don't put you on a pedestal. They just love you for who you are. They have so much love for you, and I really feel my guides' love. And hopefully, if you're very in tune with me and you close your eyes and you picture that presence with you, like you feel their love. And that's the only soul that you can kind of depend on, is your guardian angel spirit guide. No one else, not your twin flame, not God, not anyone, but that soul. They will never let you down. I promise you that. I'm getting so emotional. And then you have other guides who enter your life as you go through certain episodes, okay, through certain chapters in the book of your life. Guys, I did a Akashic Records reading on my second channel, which I highly recommend, speaking of the book of life. So I have gained 2 more spirit guides since I started to do this work here on my tarot channels. And you will have the same thing happen to you when you start a new chapter in your life. New guides come in and they help you, and then they will go and do their own thing again, or help other souls when you are done with your chapter. All right. And now, who are those guides? Who are they? Well, they are souls just like you and I. You might have been in the past a spirit guide for someone else, or you will become one. Sometimes those spirit guides are passed away loved ones, okay? They know us and they have the same ancestral lineage patterns, so they know how to help us. That often helps. I did a reading for my younger brother, Roland, who, by the way, made the intros for both of my tarot channels. If he did not talk me into wanting to make an intro for me in August of 2021, I would have never started my tarot channel. So send him your love and your gratitude, but that is not coincidental, Coincidences do not exist. My brother wanted to work his skills because he is a media designer, filmmaker, and needed something to practice his skills. So it was my channel intro, and then I felt guilty and wanted to use that intro, so I started the channel. That's how things fall into place. Life is magical if you believe in magic. But anyway, I found out that his spirit guide for this part of his life is actually our old neighbor in the village where we used to grow up. We had an old grumpy man living next door. He hated noisy children. And then my brother was the cutest toddler. He fell in love with my little brother, and they were just inseparable. And then unfortunately, a few years later, that old guy passed. But I told my brother, he's still with you. He's guiding you. And this guy had an old Mercedes-Benz. I'm German, so I'm going to say it with a German accent, that he loved. And my brother got a very similar model, an old-timer Mercedes. And I saw that old guy driving in the passenger seat next to Roland. Roland is my brother. And he's been getting some amazing signs. And as we were talking, as I opened up to my brother about his spirit guide, saying that it was the old man from the village we grew up in, as we were talking about that outside in the garden, the same model Mercedes with an old guy driving it drove past the house, and my brother got goosebumps, and it was just amazing. Guys, spirit guides are real, and they show themselves if you work on it. Now, who are they? Sometimes they are deceased loved ones, like in the example I mentioned. Sometimes they are souls from other planets, okay, who have a wider range of experience to lead us through certain lessons, okay, so they come from other planets. You could call them starseeds, but I don't like that term because we're all starseeds, okay. And sometimes they are divine beings that are not human souls. We call them angels, but I just call them divine beings because I don't want to exclude anyone from any different culture, and I don't like labels. So divine, high vibrational beings. Okay, and you all have them, and I really want to help you get to know them, and I think we'll be successful. So this was a long educational video. I hope you enjoyed it. It was very difficult to explain all of these things. I hope you have learned a lot from it. You might have to watch it twice to properly understand. And my wish for you is absolutely to find peace and comfort in your soul about your struggles. That is my wish. And that is the goal with everything I do here, is to help you guys out. Now, if you enjoyed the video, as always, please give it a thumbs up, please comment, subscribe if you haven't already. I want to do more readings, more videos like this, but only if they are well received, okay? My purple hearts, how should I call you guys, by the way, before I end this video? What should I call you? To those who are still here, what should I call you? You know how big YouTubers have nicknames for their audience, and I've become so close to many of you. Like, what should I call you? Should I call you my purple hearts? Someone suggested I should call you my spokes, because this is the Wheel of Fortune channel. Give me your suggestions, and otherwise I hope I will see you very, very soon. I'm sending you all of my love, and take good care. Bye.